Okay, so this room was not as bad as I was expecting it to be.
Gabriel's bedroom is also his office, his studio, and library. Several dozen books, including a few of Gabriel's novels, occupy the shelves above his desk. Gabriel likes a subdued lighting effect in his studio. The desk phone is cheap but functional. The typewriter is beginning to accumulate cobwebs.
Should I feel guilty? Nah.
Gabriel's desk has been gathering dust since his last novel. An office chair waits for Gabriel to sit down and write something. The wastebasket overflows with crumpled pages of mediocre glory. Gabriel's mini stereo isn't exactly high fidelity. Then again, neither is he. A small trunk serves as a table for the radio. Mardi Gras mementos left by some female or other. The carpet was Grant's. She gave it to Gabriel to cheer the place up. It's Gabriel's bathroom.
I really got to get around to cleaning up in there.
The medicine cabinet contains a few old prescriptions, personal hygiene stuff, and lots of hair products, including some hair gel.
Shocking.
A little cold bubbly and brie cheese is about all Gabriel's fridge ever has in it. Bills from last Christmas gather dust on the door. Jeans and T-shirts. Gabriel's robe hangs on the wall. It's a bit hot for it in June, though. A poster on the wall advertises Mardi Gras, the biggest party of the year in New Orleans. The dresser holds a meager supply of underwear and 38 pairs of mismatched socks.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's Gabriel's bed, unmade as usual. All the shelves do is hold books.
I don't believe that we currently know any phone numbers.
Gabriel never has figured out how to operate the memory function on this phone.
I'll just leave it on. Writer's block.
The Creole Grand Dames will hold their annual Gardenia Festival and Tea this coming Tuesday at the Sons of Burgundy Hall. Admission is free.
I don't think putting on a Mardi Gras mask right now would help.
Lion Day is all the rug does. The refrigerator is already functioning.
At Giant Discount Bookstore, we discount every title 50%. When you see our selection and prices, you will never want to shop with those little guys again.
The medicine cabinet doesn't operate.
You're listening.
It's no use. I can't sleep. I don't think putting on a Mardi Gras mask right now would help.
The typewriter is too heavy to lug round.
If I threw that stuff away, it weren't worth reading. All my clothes look the same, so why change them? No thanks. I don't have time to relax.
Whoops, that was my fault.
Gabriel, shut the refrigerator, please. I could smell it from here.
Women.
Okay,
At
that's...
Giant Discount Bookstore, we discount every title 50%. When you see our selection and prices, you will never want to shop with those little guys again.
Alright, that's about as much as we can do here. Let's go and explore New Orleans.
I've got some things I need to do.
Have fun.
There are several places that we can visit right now. The police station, Napoleon House, Jackson Square Overlook, Jackson Square, St. Louis Cathedral, Historical Voodoo Museum, and the Dixieland Drugstore. The highlighted area is where we currently are, and it's pretty cool that we can also get some street names as well. The first place we're going to visit is in the Greater New Orleans map area. Let's go and say hello to Grandmother Knight.
Gabriel, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down. Tell me how you're doing.
We will in a few minutes. Let's take a look around first.
Gabriel grew up in this room. Just being here make him feel safe. And after about 5 minutes, claustrophobic.
That's my gran. Adorable as always.
You're such a tease.
On the wall are portraits of Gran and Gramps when they were young. Gabriel's inherited some good-looking genes. Granny likes soft lighting. The sofa has a worn blue chintz pattern that Gabriel remembers fondly. The double doors lead to Granny's front lawn. Mostly pictures of Gabriel, his dad, and Harrison Knight. The wood in the bin is southern pine and is probably fossilized by now. Grandmother Knight rarely uses the fireplace these days. Too much of a hassle to clean. Granny's knitting. She whips through that stuff like there was no tomorrow. Granny's side chair still has that annoying loose spring in the seat. The magazines in the bin includes issues of Southern Living, Ladies' Home Journal, and Macal's. Fresh carnations. Granny's favorite. The stairs lead up to the attic. That clock has been in the Wright family, Granny's family, for centuries.
Hey, that's my gran. Show some respect.
Gabriel doesn't need to mess with the fireplace. Gabriel doesn't want to crowd Granny. He prefers the chair. Gabriel doesn't knit. Okay. So Gran did teach him once, but he hasn't done it in years. Granny likes the lamps lit. Gabriel's already using the chair. To use the stairs, Gabriel has only to walk on them. Granny doesn't like anyone messing with her clock, including Gabriel. Grandmother Knight has always been most particular about the arrangement of the house. Gabriel doesn't want to disturb Granny's knitting basket. Gabriel can't move the stairs. Gabriel's sentimental enough without dragging those photos into it. Gabriel doesn't need any wood. Steal Granny's knitting? How low can you get? Gabriel doesn't want to take any of Granny's things. The magazine bin contains nothing that interests Gabriel. There's nothing inside the sofa but stuffing.
Alright, now it is time to talk.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? What an odd question, Gabriel. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and Granddad. I don't know anything about it, dear. Of course, it was very big in New Orleans at one time, but you don't hear about it so much these days. Too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Oh, Gabriel, nothing. And I don't want to. I sometimes wonder what this world is coming to.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is very southern. Of course, though, not as much as it used to be when I was a girl. It's gotten much more influenced by the East Coast and that California stuff. Still, it hasn't changed as much as other places, I reckon. We've always been happy here.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more interesting to talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
What do you do all day?
You know how I love to knit and work in my garden. I also take long walks. It's the only way to keep an old body like mine from stiffening up.
You're not old.
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm older than the hills.
Tell me about before you met Granddaddy.
Well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside of town. We grew peas, corn, cotton, all kinds of things. It was a good childhood, but my father was very strict. He didn't much let me out of his sight.
Tell me how you met Granddaddy.
I met Harrison at a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then, a big fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone antics, and a piece of it, one of those small add-on do's for man, went flying off. I swear, Harrison and I were the only ones that noticed. We both started laughing to beat the band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was for me.
That's quite a sweet story.
How you feeling these days?
Fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
Just tell me anything at all.
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Just tell me anything at all.
I never loved any man but your grandfather, and I never will.
Just tell me anything at all.
I hate to admit it, but I was a jealous little thing when your granddad and I were younger. I loved him so ferociously, and he did attract the eyes of the ladies, whether he wanted to or not.
Just tell me anything at all.
I get lonely sometimes, but I have lots of girlfriends in the neighborhood. I call one of them if I'm feeling blue.
Just tell me anything at all.
I wish you'd settle down and give me a great-grandchild.
Oh, Gran.
I believe that is the end of that line of conversation.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
All right, dear.
Tell me about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school, met and married me, and we had your father, Philip.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad supported me and your father with bookkeeping. I'll tell you what, though, he hated every minute of it. Didn't really like bookkeeping one bit. Maybe that was why he had the worst luck with jobs. The nights he'd come home afraid to tell me he'd lost another. And I would tell him. It didn't matter to me. But he felt ashamed, Gabriel.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Harrison was only 36 when he died. Your father was 8 years old at the time. Your granddad was hit by a streetcar in the business district. Took me nearly a year to believe he was really gone.
I'm sorry, Gran.
I know you are, dear.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Did you know that your granddad was a poet? He was! He wrote the most beautiful poetry for me when we were courting. I always thought he should have done something with that gift. But he was such a practical man. Didn't believe in chasing after dreams.
Tell me something about Granddad.
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
Tell me about my father.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
Oh, that is interesting to know.
Tell me about my father.
When Philip met your mother, it was love at first sight. They were married 2 weeks later. Never looked at a girl seriously until then, and he looked at plenty. You have your father's way with women, Gabriel, and your granddad's.
Tell me about my father.
I wanted to just lay down and die when he and your mother were killed in that car crash when you were only 8. It was the thought of taking care of you that kept me going, Gabriel. The police say your father swerved off the road after being frightened by something. Perhaps a deer in the road or a wild cat.
That's quite interesting to know that Gabriel's father died when he was 8, and his grandfather died when his father was 8. I'm not sure if it's a coincidence or not, but it's interesting.
Tell me about my father.
Your granddad wanted Philip to have a normal life. He was obsessed by that thought. He pushed Philip to go to law school. But Philip was driven to art. He painted almost in a daze. He would get so inside himself when he worked.
Tell me about my father.
He always hated it that it was Margaret's money that supported the 3 of you when his painting couldn't. I kept telling him, try something more cheerful, like a landscape or 2. But he couldn't do it. His work was just too dark and disturbing for the public, you know.
Tell me about my father.
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family. Since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will.
I'm sure that we will.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother's family refused to give her money after the marriage. All she had left was a modest trust fund from her great-aunt, who happened to like Philip. The remainder of your mother's trust fund became yours when she died. That's what you used to open your bookshop.
Tell me about my mother.
The Templetons are all gone now. Every last one of them. They never wanted anything to do with us, of course. What a waste.
Tell me about my mother.
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
Have you baked any of your incredible molasses pies lately?
No, dear. But you let me know when you want some, and I'll whip up half a dozen.
You've lost weight. Are you courting a new man?
Oh, Gabriel, don't be silly. You know there'll never be anyone but your granddad for me.
Your hair looks very pretty today, Gran.
Well, why, thank you, dear. So does, you've always had such nice, thick hair, Gabriel.
Good save.
You know, I always tell people that my Gran is the prettiest grand old belle in the city.
Oh, dear, you shouldn't talk so.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
How you been, Gran?
Just fine, dear. I'm sorry I bothered you at work, but I was hoping you'd get a chance to go through your father's things in the attic.
Don't be silly. You can call me anytime. Is there anything you need?
Me? Oh, no. I'm just fine, Gabriel. I have more than enough of everything.
You're looking well, Gran.
Thanks, dear.
You're looking well, Gran.
Thanks, dear.
Alright. Well, that's about it for here, right now. So let's go and explore the attic.
I'm going to go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.
Grandma's attic is a storehouse of forgotten treasures and useless junk. A skylight lets welcome sunlight into the attic. The old velvet curtains hung in the parlor before Gran lightened up the place. The brass bed frame is from God knows where. An elaborate mechanical clock, probably of German origin, is among the discarded treasures of the attic. It doesn't seem to be running at the moment.
Maybe it needs new batteries.
The old trunk looks like it's gone to hell and back. It's one of Grandma's old parlor tables. The sheet-covered upholstered rocker used to be in Gabriel's nursery. That box of knick-knacks has been up there for at least 5 years. There's a sketchbook on the chair that Gabriel vaguely remembers as his father's. It's an old dress dummy that Gran had in her sewing room years ago.
My first impression of the female form.
It's an old, dusty bicycle tire.
That must have been the year Granddaddy caught Santa on the roof.
These old picture frames have been up here for years. Gabriel has seen these ornaments every year at Christmas for as long as he can remember. It's a lady's hat from the 1920s.
From Gran's Virginia Woolf period.
That tennis racket probably hasn't served a ball since the 40s. The stairs lead down to the parlor. It's an old metal tub full of dust and cobwebs. That doesn't work that way.
Whoops.
It might be better to pick it up first.
We will get to the puzzles momentarily.
Do I really look that desperate?
Oh yes, we have the,
It's Granddaddy's old golf bag.
there we go.
Golf was never my game. I'm not sure what my game was, but it wasn't golf. I'm not the tennis court type. Anybody here? Guess not. Haven't we met before? Guess not. I think I'll leave that up here. It looks pretty heavy.
Gabriel doesn't want to take the clock.
The chair is fine where it is.
Alright. That is about all that we can interact with. There are 2 points of interest, but there's one object that we can interact with further, that does give us some more background.
The trunk contains some old clothes, including a pair of leather shorts,
Aren't those called lederhosen?
serious hiking boots, more of Harrison Knight German book,
Just what I need.
and a bundle of letters. Love letters between Harrison and Rebecca.
I don't think there's anything in that trunk that would interest anybody but my gran.
The sketchbook is important.
I think I'd take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
We will examine it very shortly, but before we do, let's operate this clock.
Nothing happens. A key winds the clock's mechanism. There's an interesting design in the base of the clock. A ring of 6 symbols surround the face of the clock. A sword, a sun, an angel, a noose, an eclipse, and a dragon. It's the minute hand. The face of the clock is hand-painted.
As you may have guessed, this is a puzzle that we need to solve. And the clue with this puzzle is, well, we kind of uncovered in the bookshop the words 3 dragons from the poem. To solve this puzzle, we need to manipulate the clock hands.
The hands do not appear to have any mechanical function other than to move.
Okay, so we move the clock hands into the 3 o'clock position. Whoa, it's quite sensitive. There we go. And we need to maneuver the dragon up to the top of the clock face. And then we manipulate the key.
Granddaddy, you old fox.
The photo, probably at least 50 years old, shows 2 young men standing with an older man outside a castle.
I wonder who they are.
Whoops.
It's an old letter on fancy paper.
Now let's take a closer look at our inventory.
The tweezers from the bookshop are an old stainless steel pair that Gabriel's had forever. The magnifying glass is an expensive one with an inlaid jade handle, an heirloom from Gabriel's grandfather.
That is quite a fancy magnifying glass.
The $20 gift certificate for St. George's looks pitifully new and unused. Gabriel looks fondly at his father's sketchbook and charcoal pencil. The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter, whoever that is. The old photographs show Gabriel's grandfather with 2 other men that Gabriel has not identified.
I wonder if one of these is Heinz Ritter. So that's the examine function. We have an open function, but I don't think we can open up any of these objects apart from the book. But we mainly need to read the book rather than open it.
The gift certificate is written up generically and has the store's name and amount penned in by Gabriel himself. Images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketchbook, the way they must have haunted his mind. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe they aren't from his own subconscious.
Interesting. This is definitely some kind of demonic figure. We have several circles. 3 snakes. Are these meant to represent dragons or reptiles? More circles. Large cats. Is this a lion? Some sort of leopard or jaguar? And this looks like maybe a mirror of some kind, or maybe a magnifying glass.
The letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the recurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of quill-tip bold strokes and underlining. The back of the photo has the following written on it: Schloss Ritter, 1925. There's nothing written on the magnifying glass. That item cannot be read.
Alright, well, I kind of guessed these were inconsequential for reading material, but it's worth a try. Let's go back downstairs and speak to Granny, if I can find the function.